what advice would you actually give to the parents who, like you said, you received that diagnosis for the first time? What advice would you give to those parents?
Mm, that is such a great question. One is to find community. Sometimes one can feel that there's a stigma attached to when your child is not like other children, that
Hmm.
you would prefer to hide them. There may be shame, embarrassment. Why isn't my child
Yep.
like everybody else? And I would say
Hmm.
that's at the time where you really need to find your community that much more. So one of the things that helped us to give context is meeting Linda Moser, who created a program called SNAP, special needs athletic adaptive program. And it was
Hmm.
something that she created herself as the parent of children with special needs and provided within the Upper Marion community where children with special needs could then be partnered with high school students. And that was like an opportunity for like on Saturdays to learn things like swimming, soccer, just general physical activities and it allowed all of us as parents and families with children with disabilities to come together and one, our children have fun, and two, us recognize other parents who are going through the same thing. And that's why I think it's very important to try to find community,
Right.
because it's easy to kind of like hide in the shadows. The other, and the other I would say is also for us, it was to pray and to center because it's easy to get downtrodden by when bad things happen because you have a child with disabilities. And by that I mean the circumstances that happened in school and the challenges that came with that. We also at the time were living with neighbors who some were very tolerant, very supportive. Others were
Hmm.
not, and we had an instance where our neighbors called the police on us because Maceo was making too much noise. Um,
Mm.
and you need to have speaking for us, a spiritual grounding that you are more than your circumstance, but you have to call on a higher power to help you remember that because it's very easy to get beaten down by other people's words and internalize that as truth. That if you don't have a recourse for calling on a higher power or grounding in something other than other people's reactions or your immediate circumstance, it's a it is a hard journey to be the parent of a child with a disability. So I would suggest those two things. And the other is to be brave. It is not an easy journey to be a parent of a child with a
No, it's
disability
not.
or
It's
multiple
not.
disabilities.
Right.
Um, and it's easy to shrink. But if you don't speak for your child, no one else is
No
coming to
one
step in and
will.
speak for them.
That's
And
true.
you have to hold other people's feet to the fire, particularly those who are responsible for fulfilling an IEP, um, to make sure that they fulfill the IEP. They may be experts in terms of their expertise, but you are the expert on your child. So it is very
Mhm.
important to make your expectations known and to do that in partnership, to be that parent that is trying to meet school administration, teacher, staff, and other interest holders to make yourself available to collaborate around a child's needs, but also to not be afraid of conflict. Because sometimes some of the best things that'll happen for your child come from the clashing of heads, if you will, and you have to be brave in doing that because that child has picked you to be their parent.
Right.
So you
Right.
need to be the best parent you can be for that child and to be unafraid of advocating for them because you are
Beautiful.
all they have. So I
You're
would say those
beautiful.
two things.
That's beautiful.